Good morning. Welcome to the Coffee Cup. I am Ryan Gilkerson, lead creative here at Company 119, and we're really glad you could join us. We've been talking a little bit lately about digital branding strategy, and we're going to continue with that this week. And today we're going to talk about working well with others, how you can play well with others in your digital sandbox. The first person you're going to have to deal with when you're talking about your website is your designer. Now, I read an article on LinkedIn that was written by a lady named Kelsey Kolb. She is in the advertising field. And Kelsey gave some advice about dealing with designers on a logo. What you're going to find out is that this carries over into working with designers of any kind, whether it's your logo, whether it's your actual website design, no matter what. These are some things that you don't want to say to your designer. I love it. So I work with designers every day, like Chad and John here at Company 119, and trust me, there are things that you can say that will set them into a furor. Let's take a look. Never say, just come up with a few logos or sites or homepages. Never say, just come up with a few things so dismissively. Nothing will make them more mad than that. These logos, these designs, they should really be a part of a process where the intent is to narrow it down to find exactly what you want to express through your website, through your logo, whatever it might be. It shouldn't be just, let's throw some darts at the wall and see what sticks, and we'll just grab one of those. So when you tell a designer just throw some stuff together, that drives them crazy. Let's look at some examples of some logos that were definitely not done by just throwing some darts at the wall. These are some classic logo examples. You got Amazon here. Amazon has that classic arrow design to depict movement. FedEx, if you look at the open space between the E and the X, you can see that that white space makes an arrow, shows movement going from left to right. I love it. Under Armour, the U at the top combines with the A at the bottom, where the two come together in the middle. That's a UA. Love it. And then BMO Bank. I never knew all the things that were in the BMO Bank. You've got the circle, which is the O. You've got the M. And then if you turn sideways, that line and the M make a B. I never even knew that was there. BMO Harris. These are clearly examples of logos where somebody didn't just go, I'll just throw some stuff together and see what happens. There was a lot of thought put into those logos. I'm sure nobody went to those designers and said, hey, just come up with some stuff. Another thing you should never say to your designers is, I trust you, just do it. Just do what you feel like doing. I trust you, just put something together. Inevitably, you're going to say, I trust you. The designer is going to put something into it, and you're going to come back and say how much you hate it. This should be a two-way dialogue. This should be a two-way process. You should be working together to come up with designs. It should never just be, hey, you go do what you do, and I'll trust you with it. There should be conversations leading up to this. You should be giving input about what your brand says, what it stands for, and, kind of work that together, which goes into with my next comment here. Never say, my target audience is everybody, right? That's the worst thing you can tell a designer. Part of this process should be, I want to find out what you need to know about my brand, about my audience, etc. Never tell them my target audience is everybody. Your target audience can't be everybody all at once. You can't say my target audience is everybody ages newborn to 88. Even when they say that on a board game, they don't really mean it. You have a target demographic that you're shooting for. So you have to give that to your designer, just like you do with everybody else. Do your research. Come up with your personas, just like we talk about all the time on the Coffee Cup, and then give that information over to your designer so that they know exactly who you're trying to reach. If they know exactly who you're trying to come out to and talk to, then they're going to be a lot better at coming up with a logo for you. I love this. Never say I don't care about the font. Use whatever. This one's self-explanatory. Look at this example. You'll always be mine with a little heart and a Valentine font. That looks a lot different than the scary blood-dripping font beneath it. An example of how much font matters. We kind of take font for granted. We think sometimes, you could use whatever you want to on a site or on a logo. As you can see here, it can make a big difference. Take fonts seriously. Also, never say, can you make that a little greener? Now, I know this might be a little tough for you to read, but just know that the lady on the left is a designer. On the right of your screen, that's a person who is getting a design done. As you can see with the designer, they have a million colors in their head running through it. Simple people like you and I that are just getting designs done, we have like 5 colors, right? Red, blue, green, whatever. So never go to your designer and say, hey, can you just make that a little greener? Come to them with an idea. Are you talking a lime green? Are you talking a Kelly green? Are you talking an emerald green? A darker green? A lighter green? Greener, bluer, redder, oranger, those aren't colors. Yellower, those aren't colors. You need to give them an idea of what you're talking about. And then also, never say, I'm sending you the logo in Word, K. First of all, you should never put just K by itself at the end of anything. I'm against that. But never tell a designer you're going to send them a Word file with their logo on it. These are the accepted files to use. You can use Vector, JPEG, .png, and .eps. Those are logos that they can work with, they can manipulate, and they can put into their system to make things happen the way it is. This goes for any image that you're sending in. If you're sending in images for a website, same thing there. Put them in the right file format, because if you send them in a file format they can't work with, that's going to be problematic. They're not going to be able to do what they need to do. So there's some little tips on how to talk with designers. If anybody has any tips for dealing with crazy designers, please let me know, because I work with 2 of them every day, and I need tips outside of these just to deal with my sanity with John and Chad around our Company 119 office. They're awesome. Designers are artists, though. You have to keep that in mind. You know how artists are. They're a little sensitive sometimes about certain things. So be nice to your designer. Make sure you bring them food every time you meet with them, and tell them how wonderful they are at what they do. And I'm sure that design will work out great. We appreciate you joining us here on the Coffee Cup. We're going to be talking more digital branding strategy soon. I hope you learn more about dealing with designers before you finish your first cup of coffee than your competition will all day. Have a great day.